Hey everybody, this is Keisha with Lakisha Keene Saving Greens, and this is another exciting episode of Tea Tuesday. Now I know a few of you are looking at this screen and you're questioning, like, why is she showing us pepper plants? Because pepper plants are part of the nightshade family, right? And we're not supposed to be able to eat these. These are supposed to be toxic. I know you think I lost my mind now, right? I guarantee you I have not. You guys, I have discovered that not only are the fruits on these plants are delicious and edible and safe for us to eat, but also the leaves can be eaten as well. And in fact, many cultures utilize these leaves in a lot of their recipes. You know, when I found out about this, I was just so amazed that I could be eating these leaves. And so I harvested some leaves off of here and sauteed them up with some garlic and some onions, and I topped it on my breakfast steak and made a side of eggs to go with it. And I'll put a picture so you can see. But you guys, these taste good. I tried one raw and it tastes just like the peppers that they produce. It has a really mild and good pepper taste. We are gonna dry these leaves and we are gonna go inside and we're gonna try pepper leaf tea today. And I'm gonna give you my opinion, my review on what I think about it. Now, every Tuesday, I'm bringing to you a new plant or tree that we commonly grow in our gardens that maybe you do know, maybe you don't know, maybe you're like me and had no idea. But these are things that we grow commonly in our gardens that we underutilize. We harvest the fruits off of them and then we compost the leaves and the rest of the plant, or we give it to our animals if we have animals on our homestead. And I just want to be able to utilize more of what my garden has to offer. Now, I don't know necessarily that I'm going to be drinking pepper leaf tea by itself, but it probably would make a good accompaniment mixed with other leaves, dried leaves of other plants or fruits. So let's go inside and let's talk pepper leaf tea. So now, before I get started on this video, I have to tell you guys, please be responsible and do your research. Every video that I've made so far with this tea series, I've made sure that I've said that, and you guys, I am stressing it to you even more so with this one, because there's so much conflicting information out there. Do your research and then decide for yourself what is best or what risk you're willing to take. So in this video, I'm not telling you that everything is okay to do, that it's okay and there's no risk involved with eating or using pepper leaves for tea. I'm not saying that, and I'm not saying that it's, not to do it. I'm just saying, just do your research and then decide for yourself. Now, while I was researching, I've discovered a lot of articles that talked about the toxicity of pepper leaves, but then also it talks about how the peppers themselves are toxic to us. And the peppers contain the same chemical makeup of the leaves of the plant. So, and that's one thing that, when I read that pepper leaves were completely edible, I know what the general consensus for the US is. For us, we're like, no, You don't do that. You don't eat pepper leaves because they're part of the nightshade family. But you guys, in other parts of the world, they eat pepper leaves in their regular diet almost daily. And I'm thinking like, well, and believe me, I'm not known to be a huge brainiac, but just logically thinking, like if the same compounds that make up the fruit that it produces, that's found in the fruit, is also in the plant then, and we eat peppers. We eat bell peppers, sweet peppers, hot peppers. We eat that, some of us, all day long on a regular basis, and they're telling us that it's not good. In my mind, I'm thinking, well, the leaves and the plant that produces these fruits, that is all part of the same thing. Like, I can't see how the fruits that are produced are okay, but the plant itself is not. Anyway, so I want to stress to you guys that I am in no way, telling you to go out and try this and take a risk. I tend to be a risk taker in the things that I eat and try. I tend to take risks. I tend to eat some things that, not everybody likes to eat. And some of them I find good and some of them I don't, but that's just up to personal preference and taste. And then in a lot of articles that I read, it says, just eat the little leaves, the new leaves, right? But when I originally tried these pepper leaves, and this was a month or so ago, I used the big leaves and they were just fine. So I don't know, you guys. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a scientist. I haven't studied in excess, what all of this contains and whether or not what is out there is good or the information is good or not. I'm just telling you, I did a Google search and I found that there are people in other countries and other cultures that eat pepper leaves on a regular. They eat them in soups, they eat them in salads. They use the pepper leaves to add color to certain curries and stuff. There's a lot of teas that you can buy on the market that I looked online that contains pepper leaves. So there are people who are consuming this on a regular, and I tried the leaves raw just so I'll know what it tastes like, and it was fine. And I'm still alive, I'm still here. But you guys, this is a risk that I was willing to take. I don't know if you're willing to take that risk. But as like I always stress, do your research. Check it out. Decide for yourself. You could go online and find reasons why everything is bad for us. Everything natural is bad. And for the longest time, they've told us, eggs are bad. Now eggs are good, or milk is bad. And then they did that whole production on how milk does a body good. And so you guys, you just have to, do your research and then choose for yourself what is right for you and what you're willing to risk in trying some of these things. But, it might be that some of the ornamental type peppers, maybe the leaves are more bitter on those, or they don't taste as great. But the leaves that I have growing in my garden were sweet bells, sweet chilies, and a lot of hot peppers. And I did a combination of all those leaves. When I cooked it, I did a combination of all those leaves, and I didn't take the baby leaves. I took some of the big leaves too. And in this bag of pepper leaves that I have here that I dried out prior to this, they're made up of all pepper plants that I had in the garden. And actually I just went out there, and whichever plant leaves weren't ravaged by bugs or disease or already dying, they had to be really green, then those are the leaves that I chose and I picked to dry out to do this tea video with you guys. So like I said, it's just really up to you what you decide for yourself after you do your research. I'm here to tell you that I've tried this already and I took a risk and it's good. Now, things I don't want to risk or I won't risk at all, mushrooms. And I know there's people out there that, you know, they love searching for mushrooms and stuff, and I haven't done enough research on it to know which ones are good or which ones to stay away from. And so that's something that I will be working on just for my own personal know-how, because I have tons of mushrooms that come up in my garden beds. And sometimes I wonder if these are edible, but I'm just a chicken as far as with mushrooms. I won't take the chance with mushrooms. And I love mushrooms. And I want to grow mushrooms one day, farm-raised mushrooms that I grow. But with the wild ones that just pop up in my yard, I won't go out there and just start picking mushrooms and using them. So, you know, I do use some kind of caution. I'm a risk taker, but I do try and think logically through what I'm doing, what I'm consuming, and, you know, how dangerous it is. I just don't go out and eat everything. So I don't want you to get the idea that that's what I do, that I just go and I try everything, and I don't do that. In my research, I do make sure that it is edible, that it's not harmful, and that it's not going to have any adverse reactions with the medications that I'm taking. So I want to make sure that stuff doesn't interact adversely when I do try these things. So I do check it out and make sure for myself. So all I'm saying is you do your research for yourself and decide for yourself. And if you are on medications, then especially do some research. Okay, now with all that being said, I'm going to tell you what some of these benefits are. Because I really don't want this video to be super long, but I want to stress to you guys that I am not in any way saying to go out and pick your pepper leaves. There are some pepper plants that are highly toxic. And I'm just saying, do your research. Okay, I think I drove that one in pretty well. So, okay, so some of the benefits of using pepper leaves. Okay, now some of these benefits are for internal use and some are for external use, okay? The first one is treats arthritis. Pepper leaves help with inflammation and things like that, which helps soothe the issues that you might be having with arthritis. You can use it as an internal to help with pain and stuff like that and inflammation, or you can use it as a topical paste that you can make and put on the actual pained areas or wounds or whatever. It's good for shingles and other skin disorders that happen due to viruses, especially because it's anti-inflammatory. It helps soothe the irritations and stuff that comes along with that. Okay, so it has antiseptic properties and stuff, which also helps to flush and detox our bodies. It lowers cholesterol level, which is something that I'm particularly interested in, right? It targets the bad cholesterol. So the stuff that's not good, the stuff that builds up and blocks and stuff in our veins, in our arteries and veins. It boosts our immune system, which we all could use, especially right now. We're going into winter and cold and flu season that's starting right now, and we still have COVID, and so we need things that are going to help boost our immune system naturally too. And the way that it does that is it has phytochemicals and phenolic acids, and these help with boosting our immune system as well as preventing certain diseases and stuff. It's a good source of antioxidants, which we already know from other things that antioxidants is really good. It helps us with killing free radicals in our bodies, and it also helps prevent cancer. It helps with cataracts and cardiovascular diseases. because of the antioxidant properties that it has. It helps promote and produce insulin. So my husband is type 2 diabetic. And for people who have diabetes, you know, this might be something that you might be interested in utilizing if it's going to help. It contains photochemical, which boosts pancreatic cells to produce insulin in diabetes cases. So that's interesting. It helps with indigestion. It cures fevers. And like I said, you can use it topically to heal wounds. You can mash it up and place it in any wounds that you might have. Some of the nutrient sources that it has, it's high in vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin B1, B2, iron, calcium, potassium. You can use it for acne, helps prevent acne. You can use it as a scrub or facial mask, mouthwash. You guys, there's just so many things. And I mean, the list goes on here. And it also, and I'll put this in the description too, the link to this article that I'm reading, because it also tells you how to use it as an herbal tea. And that's what we're going to be doing today, using it as an herbal tea. There's a lot of benefits to eating pepper leaves, and I had no idea. And I grow peppers year after year, and I love peppers. I use peppers all the time. I make my own homemade chili powder, and so I use that daily. And everything I cook, most of my dishes that I cook starts with onion, peppers, and garlic. Because those are my 3 top favorite things to use when I cook. So here I'm growing peppers, all these pepper plants. This past season I grew 40 different varieties of pepper, hot, sweet, and bell peppers. And I grew 2 plants of each, so 80 plants that I had out here that I'm just like, I didn't even know until later in the season when the plants were already starting to decline. I was able to save some seeds and dry them for this video. So I'm gonna bring you down closer so you can see what I'm doing, and then I'm gonna get this tea brewing. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to crush up a few of these dried pepper leaves. Let me show you. There we go. These are the leaves that I dried. So I'm just gonna crush up a few of these leaves and add them to my little basket here, and then pour some hot water in there so we can try this and see what this is gonna taste like. Okay, now I'm just gonna add the hot water. Kind of spilled a little there. Already, you guys, it smells really green. And it's already taking on a green tint. You can see that in the video here. It's already taking on a green tint color. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna let this sit and steep for about an hour so that we can try and see if we can get some real good representation of the flavor that it is going to produce for us. So I will come back to you guys in an hour when this is done. It's been over an hour since I first put the hot water in to steep. I wanted to taste this for you guys and let you know what I think about it and what it tastes like. Okay, so here's an up close of the tea. Kind of has like a neon green look to it. But you guys, I wanted to try this for you. It's still a little warm, not much. The weather today has just been all stormy and rainy, so this tea is a good thing to have right now. It has a really green scent to it. Okay, so now I'm gonna try this. Oh man. Okay. It tastes pretty good. Okay, so the first thing that I'm tasting when I first sipped it was green, of course. It's green leaves, you know, it's green. But it has like a sweetness to it. Yeah. It's not bitter at all. It's not bland at all. It has like a little sweetness. It actually tastes pretty good. You know, I could drink this just like this, no sweetener, and it's actually rather pleasant to drink. It doesn't have any off-putting flavors or smells or anything. It just smells good. It smells herbal, smells natural, smells green. So you guys, I don't want to draw this out too long. I want to stay one more time, stress to you one more time. I know I'm just like beating this dead horse, but do your research, check it out, decide for yourself before you try this or any other teas that I feature on my channel. Like I said, I'm not a professional at everything in moderation, you guys. Moderation. I'm not saying you have to eat this every day. Although there are people who do, you know, utilize pepper leaves in their cuisine on a regular basis. But I'm not saying you have to use it every day. I'm just saying in moderation, in small doses, it's not all that bad. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for watching my other tea videos. And I have plenty more planned for you and a lot more surprises as well. And some of those surprises might involve something that's a little controversial like these. So stay tuned. And as always, God bless.